Hello everyone, welcome. Today we're focusing on traveler's notebooks and specifically standard size TNs. I'm going to go through all of mine, all those that I've collected over the years, and I'm going to talk about what I like and what I dislike about each one of them. Why am I using some of them as everyday carries versus to archive inserts on my bookshelf versus tucked away in storage and not really looking at very much? Let's talk about that. I will, as per usual, put links in the description to any of these that are still available for sale. Some of them are old. Some of them are no longer available. But if you have them on your shelf, you might want to compare them to the ones that are still available. And we've got a wide range here. Some of these are very, very inexpensive. You can grab them on Amazon Prime and get them within, just a day or two for, under $30. And some of them are custom and they take weeks to order and they come from far, far away from master craftsmen around the world. And they might run closer to $150, $200 even. So wide variety here today. We're going to talk about all of them. Grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or whatever tastes good and join me. So I'm going to go in order from the ones that I don't like as much all the way up to my truly beloved traveler's notebooks, the ones that you could not wrench from my hands no matter what. So I have a whole lot of cognac colored leather and chocolate and espresso and all those pretty browns. And then I have these two, which don't fit the others. These are not leather, these are a vegan friendly type. This one is from Paper House Productions. They call these journey books. I don't think they produce them anymore, but you might occasionally come across one and find one to purchase. And then this one is Webster's Pages. Same thing. I think they're out of production, but you might find one on a shelf somewhere. These are traveler's notebooks that I would not use for an everyday carry because they just don't have enough features, or I don't like the way that they would stain really, really easily. But here's what I do like them for, and that is archiving my old inserts. So this Webster's Pages is extremely wide and it has so much room here, and I can get like 8 TN inserts in one of these and just line those up and then put it on my bookshelf. And that's a great way to archive. This has 4 bands. It does have pockets on the left, and then this pocket that's fine for pens here on the right. And then it has an elastic pen loop. I do not like elastic pen loops, so that was a negative for me. But it's pretty. It looks nice on my bookshelf, and it holds like 8 TNs in a format where I can just open it and flip through as if they were a bound book. And then same thing with this one from Paper House. It works well for archiving, although for fewer inserts, I can maybe get 4 in here. There are 2 bands, and then I can use expansion bands as well. There's 1 pocket here on the left, no pockets on the right, no pen loop. It's just not functional enough for me to use every day. But yeah, again, it looks pretty on my bookshelf and it helps me keep, 4 inserts looking nice and tidy and protected for an archive. All right, let's move on to the leathers. So this one was gifted to me and I'm very grateful. I will continue to use this one for archiving as well. This is from Jennika's Journals, and I do not know the type of leather compared to others that are offered by Jennika because I didn't order it. But I really like the format. I like the size of it. The stitching is good. I love having a front pocket. I like to pop my pens on the front, so that's a real plus. The elastic is good. I flip it open. It's got 4 bands, just like I like. Pocket on the left, pocket on the right. It's actually got folio pockets here, and then this one that's like a secretarial pocket. So in practice, it has everything I want and need. It's a good size. It's made well. 4 bands, some pockets, and a front pocket for my pens. It should be a slam dunk, but it isn't. And the reason is because, can you see how shiny this is? Can you hear it? I really don't like that shiny, almost patent leather. It's not for me. I like a real soft, like baseball glove leather. So this is not something that I would carry around every day for that reason. It squeaks. Do you hear it? And many other people will not be sensitive to that at all. And they really like the look of how kind of formal this looks. And if that's your thing, go for it. But I personally don't like the chrome tanned finish. And I think that's what this is called. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the chrome tan is where you get that shininess. So very good quality, not my style. I am going to use it at this point for archiving inserts, but if I ever do a destash, I will put it here on this channel and someone can speak up for it and say that they have always wanted one exactly like this, and we'll find it a new home. And I also want to quickly invite you, whether you have been in this channel for years or if this is your first time here, feel free to introduce yourself in the comment section and let us know, what traveler's notebook are you using? What have you wished for? What is something you'd like to use in the future? Just tell us about your traveler's notebook experience. What are you carrying around as your everyday carry today? Join the comment section. All right, let's get back to the traveler's notebooks. Okay, the next one in the I'm using it for archiving batch is from Poromo. And I started with Poromo. These were available on Amazon on and off several years ago. I got my first one around 2019. It was great. We'll talk about it later. Then about a year or two, they popped back up all of a sudden, and they had completely different leather and a slightly different format. And so it doesn't meet my everyday carry needs, but it was really inexpensive and works well for archiving. You open it up, good size, good stitching, 4 bands, card pockets, which I really like, so I can turn it into a wallet, folio pocket, secretarial pocket, shows some nice patina. It wears with you. It's gonna get scars, and that's fun because it shows where you've been. Here's what I don't like. Number one is the finish of the leather. I've shown this in the past, and I've gotten a lot of feedback in the comments of what may be going on here. Do you see the spots? Not sure if you can see that in the camera. It's really hard to convey what it looks like in real life, but it's got these little spots. And I don't mean that it's pebbled. That's different. They're either from some kind of a spray finish, like they sprayed it and then that's how it dried, or I've heard it could be pig leather, which might result in that spottiness. Or it could have been the way it was stored, and maybe there was like a pebble on top of this and it made some kind of impressions. I'm not an expert in leathers and I do not know what this is, but I do not like it. I don't like all the spots. And the other problem with this one is that there's nowhere to put the pen. There's not a pen loop and there's not a front pocket. So there's nowhere for me to stick this happily. What I can do, which is okay, is to pull this across, and instead of having it protect the edge, I can use that to hold my pen. And it works, it's fine. It's just a little floppy for my taste. I like my pen to be more secure. So because of the dots and because there's no pen loop, I'm gonna keep this one for archiving. And it was so inexpensive that I'm happy to do that. I don't feel like I need to get my money back or anything like that. It'll be great on the bookshelf. This will hold, look how wide this gets. This will hold probably 6, maybe even 8 inserts. So on to the archive shelf it goes, and that was from Poromo. The next one is tricky. It's usually on my archive shelf, but occasionally I might consider bringing it out because it looks so formal. This is from HandstitchedLeatherT. And it's a beautiful, beautiful traveler's notebook leather-wise. But I don't like a couple things about the format. So again, standard size. We have the elastic that comes across, and the elastic is a little thin for my taste. Usually the elastics that go around the outside are thicker like this. This one is thinner. It does have a pocket on the front for my pen, which is great. Yay. I open it up and it has 4 bands, which is very nice. It has card pockets, check plus. We got a folio on the left, a folio on the right, and a secretarial pocket. Really nice. Beautiful stitching, you know, good quality. Can you tell what I don't like about it as I move it around? Look at this. Look at this buckling. I have tried restringing this. I've tried making it looser. I've tried making it, you know, different tension. It always buckles like this. Even when I put several inserts in, it doesn't buckle as much, but it still buckles a little bit. And that drives me batty. Again, some people probably have 10 traveler's notebooks lined up and they never even notice the buckle and they're fine with it. But for me, I don't like that. So because I don't just keep, you know, 1 or 2 TNs in here, I usually have several in my everyday carry. I prefer when I have a reinforced spine, and we'll see some that are coming up later that do have that reinforced spine, but this one does not. So it buckles, and that bugs me. So if you have a suggestion of how to make it stop buckling without a reinforced spine, let me know. I suppose I could buy a piece of leather and maybe somehow try to reinforce it myself. But I think what it comes down to is just that the leather is so thin. Like, look how I can manipulate this because it's so thin. And once you get, you know, heavier inserts and you've got your pockets full, the spine just can't handle it. But it's beautiful leather. It's very, very pretty. It looks very classy. We have the logo here for Stitch, for HandstitchedLeatherT. These used to be made in Ukraine. Now, since the war, I think they've moved somewhere else in Eastern Europe and they produce them from there. You know, their leather is amazing. I'm just not very happy with this. All right, so right now that's on the archive shelf. Another one that's on the archive shelf is this lovely thing that I found on Amazon. And this has a nice kind of stamped floral design. It is very shiny again. If this is real leather, I guess we'll call it chrome tanned because of how shiny that is. It has this little charm on the front, and that is removable. If I were going to use it as an everyday carry, I personally would take off the charm because it gets in my way. But it's cute, and I left it on there since I'm using it for an archive. I open it up, and my biggest beef with this one is that there's just nothing to it. There are no pockets. There is 1 band, and then you have the expansion band. These little doobies on the end always drive me a little bit nuts. Yeah, so for an everyday carry, it's just not functional enough. There's nowhere to put the pen, really. There's no pockets to stash stuff. You can't put too many inserts in it. It's not reinforced spine, but it sure is pretty, isn't it? It really is beautiful. So I'm using this for archiving, and it's fun when I open it up and I go back to look through the inserts that are in it, but I don't just carry it around every day. Okay, what's next? More archival. This one is from Wanderings, and it is so similar to this one as far as the format. The leather is different, but the setup is the same. So we've got our band on the front. We have the Wanderings logo, which I think is awesome because it's just a compass, just a simple compass. No one would need to know what the brand was. It's just, hey, this is a traveler's notebook, and here's a compass to show directions on my travels and guide me. I think that's a neat way to brand it. But we open it up, and this one, again, it has no pockets. It has 1 band. There is an extra band somewhere. It came with an extra. I'm not sure where it ended up. Yeah, it's very similar, you know, to an original Traveler's Company, Traveler's Notebook, where it's literally just a piece of leather. But it's nice. It definitely gets a patina. It's very soft. It feels really good in my hands. Again, it has the, what are we calling these? Doodads? The doodads? Please tell me in the comment section what I'm supposed to call this little thing. Yeah, so good for archiving, but it just doesn't have enough functionality for me to use it every day. Same exact leather. This is also from Wanderings. I had it upside down here. This is also from Wanderings, and you can see that it's been used a lot more. See that patina developing? See those kind of marks and scars? That's because I like this one so much better. Let me show you why. I actually have in the past used this one as an everyday carry. We're getting closer to the ones that are much, much more functional for me. So again, good stitching, fun leather. I feel like somebody in the Wild West would have carried this. You've got the logo down in the corner, again, the compass. When I used it, put a pen in here like this, and you open it up, and now we have pockets. So I've put these little cards in here to show you the card pocket area. So I can turn it into a wallet, and it's got folio pocket, only one band plus the expansion band, and no real pen loop other than the front. So it's kind of like in between. I have used it as an everyday carry when I wanted something extremely lightweight and I was only carrying like a couple of cards, my planner, and one little jotter. It was just real light and airy. You could put it in a tote bag and barely even feel it. And that is absolutely the benefit to this. So use it if you're just gonna put a couple thin inserts in, if you don't need to carry multiple pens. It definitely serves a purpose. Right now, it is serving to archive inserts, but I can't promise that I won't ever pull it back out again because I have a fondness for this. It feels good in my hands, and that's a really important thing. So this one again is from Wanderings, and it's the one with pockets. Okay. Next, we go back to Poromo again. I'm putting the link to these in case they ever come back. Every time I say that they are never, ever, ever coming back again, you know, it's been like 2 years since they've been available. You will never see these again. Every time I say that, poof, they come back. So never say never. I'll put the link in the description. You can go look at it. You can bookmark it and check it if you're interested in this. So this is a Poromo from, 2, 3, 4 years ago. It's a lighter color. They offered the darker color, which is the one that had those spots, but then this is the lighter color. It's more of a camel, and it's lovely. It doesn't have the spots. Pretty good stitching. It feels good in your hands. It's a nice sturdy leather. You have this, which you can use for one pen. Again, not my favorite way to store a pen, but it's possible. You open it up, and inside you have those 3 card pockets, here, here, here. And you have a folio pocket and a secretarial pocket. And this is what differentiates it from the Wanderings. The Wanderings only had 1 band, but the Poromo has 4. And that is awesome because those notebooks sit 1, 2, 3, 4, and they don't kind of get funky when the spines come together. They all have their own proper place. And then when you close it, everybody stays neatly in order. You're not constantly jostling your inserts. So I really, really, really like traveler's notebooks that have 4 bands neatly spaced. So yeah, this is really close to being a perfect everyday carry, really close. But when you see the ones that I actually do use every day, you'll see kind of why it kind of jumps over the top. But this is really good. So if they ever come back again, I will let you know. I think the first one I got was $19. No joke. $19 for a leather traveler's notebook, made well, with pockets, with 4 bands. They are hard to beat when they actually come in stock. Sometimes they come in stock and they're a little more expensive. Sometimes they just aren't available at all. So a little wishy-washy on the availability, but if you get one, they're gems. All right, then we have a ridiculously popular traveler's notebook. I know so many people who have them, and I've recommended them over the years. This is from a company called Newestor or September Leather. Sometimes you'll see that interchangeably. I will put a link to these in the description. This is kind of like, remember Henry Ford said, you can have any color you want as long as it's black. Well, with Newestor, you can have any color you want as long as it's this espresso brown. That's it. That's all they offer. So you're not going to get a choice. You get espresso brown and you're going to like it. I think you will like it though, actually. It's easy to roll. So you can take these and they'll start off pretty stiff, but you can go through the process of rolling it, conditioning it, giving it some love, breaking it in, and then it has that baseball glove feel to it. It has a reinforced spine. It has very good stitching. I have used this over and over and over, and I've never had problems with any of the stitches coming out. The color is fantastic in that it is a dark espresso, and on the screen sometimes it looks a little bit green, and I don't know why, because in real life it doesn't look that way at all. It's a dark espresso, and then the pickup, which is where, you know, when you bend the leather and you start to see some color come through, that pickup is almost like a dark cherry. It's really neat. And yes, it gets scratched up and it gets a patina and it becomes yours. And it has pretty much everything I could want in an everyday carry. It's got that reinforced spine. It has 4 card pockets. And again, they're nicely spaced so they don't bunch up on each other. You know, each card has its own place, so they stay pretty flat. You have a folio pocket that has some artistic merit here with the scallop. Folio pocket on the back. Pen loop, which we'll talk about in a minute. 4 bands, nicely spaced. This is a really, really good choice. It has a nice thick band that comes across. It does not have a protector, but it really doesn't need it because this leather is so sturdy. There is only one thing that I don't like about this, and that is that the pen loop is floppy. So I usually carry 2 pens at once. I have a Uniball Signo gel pen and I have a brush pen, usually those 2. And so I like to put them backwards like this, and then I close it. And because this is so floppy, do you see what's going on here? Once you get your inserts in and you take care to tuck these and you put the elastic around, it does okay. But then you open it up to start writing and these start just kind of flying all over the place and it bugs me. This pen loop is literally the only thing I don't like about this. Otherwise, it makes a fantastic everyday carry, and I highly recommend it. I will tell you that a couple of years ago, there was an issue with Newestor or September Leather where they were arriving from Amazon with people. I didn't experience this personally, but people in the comments in the reviews were saying that they had received them with mold on them. And it kept going for like months and months and months. You would see these poor reviews. And then they've pretty much stopped. So I think they figured out what was going on with their supply chain. And now I feel a little bit more comfortable recommending them again. I think they're back to good. But they come in all kinds of sizes. You have standard A5. There's a smaller one. There's a really tiny one. Lots of sizes available. They do make some that don't have pockets. You want to make sure you get the ones with pockets if that's your choice. So I'll put a link down below to where this exact thing is available. And I think you'll be happy with it. I hope so. And if not, it's Amazon Prime, so it's pretty easy to make a return. All right, are you ready? It's time for the top 3. These are my top 3 traveler's notebooks of all time. These are really in no particular order because I like them all for different reasons. Right up there at the top, gold medal winners. This one is from Apple Pig. My beloved Ting at Apple Pig made this for me. I reached out to him several years ago and I said, Ting, I would like to make a video and show your leathers. Could you please send me samples of your leathers? And when he realized I had this channel, he said, I'll tell you what. You tell me what size is your normal size. And I think I paid the shipping. I paid a little bit, but he kind of added some things for me without giving the extra charge. So I want to be fair that I did receive part of this for free, if that makes sense, but I also paid for part of it. So it was like a 50-50 kind of thing. You guys, when I opened this, I was so happy. It was such a step up from everything that I had collected from Amazon. Having one that is custom made by a master leather craftsman who has such precise attention to detail and such attention to the quality of the leathers that he's using, now I get it. Like, I didn't understand why people paid more for traveler's notebooks. I said, you know, you can get one for $20 or $30 on Amazon. Why would you want to spend more than that? And then I got this in my hands and I understood. So this one is called Naughty Fox Leather. Ting has several different styles of leathers available. And Naughty Fox is the one that, again, comes closest to that baseball glove feeling. It's a real pretty cognac color. When you make your order, this is not going to come off the shelf. He doesn't have 500 of them stored away somewhere. He's going to listen to what you ask for. So do you see how this is pebbled on the outside? But then when you open it up, look at how some of the pockets are much, much more smooth. You can ask him whether you want to mix, or if you want it to all be pebbled, or if you want it to all be smooth. You can tell him that you're okay with having marks on the leather. You don't care if there are, you know, scars and I don't know, brand spots and things like that. Doesn't matter. Or you can tell him, hey, I want mine to look more formal. I want it to be more pristine. Then he'll pick out a piece of leather that is more formal and more pristine for you. He wants you to be happy. Mine is all one color. It's all Naughty Fox. But you can have the pockets be different colors. You can have the stitching be different colors. You can have the bands be different colors. You can combine, like I've seen some really beautiful combinations where people will take like, you know, one of the colors of leather that is more like a cognac color like this, combined with a color that's more like a teal or an aqua. So it'll have like alternating pockets. I mean, it's just, he's an artist, and he really is an artist. Ting sketches and paints, and he has that artistic mindset. He is located in Taiwan. He used to have a very popular Etsy shop, and I'm going to link to that Etsy shop because then you can see the reviews from over the years. You can see pictures of what people have ended up ordering and how happy they were with it. So you can get a feel for what are people saying about his work. But recently, Etsy no longer allowed shops in Taiwan. So he had to move away from Etsy, and he opened his own shop that I think is based on Shopify. So you can order through him that way. And you can either message him through Etsy or message him through his own shop. His current website will show you kind of, you know, like what his current leathers are and that kind of thing. He's like a lot of the other custom leather craftsmen where he's going to take breaks occasionally. And that happens especially around the holidays when he gets a lot of orders and he'll say, okay, shop's closed, for a month. I'm going to take a break and catch up with orders. He'll go out shopping for new leathers, and then he'll come back and start working again on new projects. But when you get one, I think you'll appreciate the love that went into making these. There's love here. So I'll show you what I love about this one. We've got this band, which is sturdy but also soft at the same time. It just feels good when you open it. We have, again, that beautiful leather. I have marked this up. Don't judge it based on how I have used it. I actually got, well, I'll spare you the details of the things I've done to this, but I used it as a true everyday carry for a couple of years, so it's been through some stuff with me. It has beautiful stitching, which is held up impeccably. You open it up, and the pockets are unlike anything I've seen anywhere else. So we have these secretarial pockets here and here. And then this has a hidden pocket, which is where I keep cash. Then you open it up, and there's 4 card pockets like this. So you can turn it into a wallet. Then 4 bands in the middle, nicely spaced. Over here on the right, you have this pocket, another one of the hidden pockets. Then this opens, and look at this. So this pops, and you can put pens or a ruler, whatever tools you like, you can put in here. Close this, and then that protects your notebooks from your pens. Close it up. This is just a pretty bookmark that I received at my public library. I have always imagined paradise will be a kind of library. Isn't that pretty? It's just pretty, and it feels so good in your hands. Then we have the pen loop, and Ting, if you're watching this, the only thing that I don't like about all this is the pen loop. I ordered it because I thought I wanted one, but then I realized I don't need it, and so it's just kind of here, and it's floppy. So I have seriously considered taking an X-Acto knife and removing the pen loop, but I'm scared to do it, so it's still here, and I just tuck it in behind my inserts. So here's where I keep my pens, and it may not be where you would think. You'd say, well, there's no front pocket, and you don't have that little protector thing to stick it in. Where are you putting your pens? So the way that these pockets fold over, you can put a pen there, and you can put a pen there, and you close it like this. And if you've got your inserts in there, your pens end up resting like this. And they don't fly around. And it works really well. It works really, really well to put them like this in those folds. So that, again, was my everyday carry for quite a while, and I will certainly go back to it. Sometimes with the seasons, I like a different color leather. Sometimes I just like kind of how big and chunky this is. Right now, I'm doing a lot of hiking and going to the zoo and things like that, so I tend to keep my wallet smaller and just in my purse. But times that I'm not doing as much going out in the nature and that kind of thing, then I'll put my wallet back in here, and I like a more substantial TN like this. It's special. And I think you can tell by the way I've talked about it, how special it is. So Ting, you're amazing. Thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. It's awesome. So Naughty Fox Leather. I think this is a regular traveler's notebook with super pockets added and a pen loop added if that's what you're interested in. And I'll put a link in the description, and you can basically, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think you can email Ting and say, I want Key Lime Ink's standard TN, and he'll make this for you. Or you can customize it as much as you want. All right. 2 more in these are my top traveler's notebooks ever. This is the one that I am currently using. This was a gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Jenny. You know who you are. This was a gift and I'm so appreciative of it. I feel like it was made for me. And the funny thing is, she had actually gotten it from like a buy sale trade. And then she used it for a while. And then she realized I might like it more, and I do. I truly feel like someone sat down and designed the perfect traveler's notebook for my uses. And yet I didn't have a hand in it at all. It just showed up on my doorstep. So the traveler's notebook guardian angels were looking out for me on this one. This is by a brand called Speckled Fawns. Speckled Fawns are made by Terry, who is a kind of one-woman band traveler's notebook maker in, I want to say North Carolina. I think she might have moved, so I'm not sure where she is right this second. But Terry is amazing. She is based in the United States, and her work is amazing. It's very similar to Apple Pig in that you can tell how much love and care went into it, but the style is completely different. So again, regular size, reinforced spine, nice band here, front pocket, so I can put 2 pens, or 3 if I wanted, but I've been putting 2. Rivets right here, really perfect stitching. I have no idea what this leather is called because I didn't order it. And Speckled Fawns is a little different than Apple Pig in that Ting pretty much carries the same leathers. So he'll have like 8 different color options, and he pretty much sticks with the same colors. Whereas Terry at Speckled Fawns will do this thing where she'll go find an amazing piece of leather and she'll make like 4 traveler's notebooks out of it, and she'll sell them. And then she'll move on to a different piece. And then she'll get a shipment in of something different. And she'll do a line of a certain leather. And it might come back and it might not. So you kind of have to get it while you get it while it's hot, if that makes sense. And then they kind of become collector's editions because they're so unique. The pocket that's on the front, this is kind of a rough edge. Sometimes they'll be sideways. Sometimes they'll be higher up. Sometimes they'll be higher down. Again, it's the kind of thing where you look on her website and it will show you what is currently available, and you can click that button and see exactly what it's going to look like. I have one of hers that's an A5 size where it's cut this way, you know, and this one is cut this way. So they're all just a little bit different, which is really fun. So we open it up, and inside we have just 2 pockets, just folios, which is fine. I don't have the card pockets in this one, but I'm able to use a Midori insert, a Traveler's Company insert that holds pockets or holds cards. And that can just wrap around and insert, and then I can use it as a wallet if I need to. But it's got 4 bands, nicely spaced. And this is novel. This is something I don't think I've seen anywhere else. She has the reinforced spine on the inside. And it really gives you this very, very, very sturdy finish, so you don't have that buckling like I had with the HandstitchedLeatherT. No buckling. Same with Apple Pig. It's just such a thick leather that it doesn't even need reinforced. No buckling. So we open this up. My table is running over with traveler's notebooks. I wish you could feel it. I wish you could smell it. It's definitely got that baseball glove quality. It's so nice and sturdy. It's a perfect size. And I've really come to like these front pockets. I am sold on the front pocket idea. For your pens, you could keep a ruler in here. You could keep something decorative in here. You could take something like this pretty bookmark and pop it in here to give it a splash of color. There's so many different things you could do. So Speckled Fawns, again, is very much like Apple Pig, where she had an Etsy shop. Now she doesn't, but the record of that Etsy shop is still there. So I'm going to put the link in the description. You can go back and see what other people have ordered over the years. You can see their comments. It'll give you, I think, some confidence in ordering from something that is like a one-off company. Sometimes we're scared to order from something that isn't Amazon or isn't Etsy. But if you see all those glowing reviews, I think you'll understand it is worth it. Then you go to her actual website to see what's currently available and place your order. Both Speckled Fawns and Apple Pig have Facebook groups that are run, I think both of them are run by fans, and everybody talks about theirs, and sometimes they trade theirs. It's like buy, sale, trade as well. People ask advice, maybe, for example, with Ting, with Apple Pig, you can have him cut it exactly to the size you want. So you might go on to the Facebook fan group and say, hey, here's what I intend to put in it. What size did you get? Is there overhang? Is there too much room? What kind of size do I want? You can get some help for what you're ordering with the other users who have already been through the process, and they can help you, and that takes a little bit of the work off of Ting and off of Terry if you talk amongst yourselves about what you want to order and get advice from people who love traveler's notebooks as much as we do. All right, so that's Apple Pig and that's Speckled Fawns. And now, bless this little thing, this traveler's notebook is the first one that I ordered. So if you've seen my video about the 12 things that I wish I had known about traveler's notebooks before I started, you know that I made my own first. It wasn't even leather. I made one just to kind of see if I even liked the idea. And I did like the idea, but I wanted something sturdier. This was in 2019, I think. I went to Amazon and I got this. This is a Poromo, but it's the OG, the original Poromo. I have not seen this style come back from Poromo ever again, but it was awesome while it lasted. And the reason that it's in my top 3 is that it's functional, it has that fun patina, and it's emotional. And that's what's really cool about traveler's notebooks, is that we take them with us through our lives, with people we love, through events in our lives that are memorable for good and bad reasons. They're something that kind of becomes your friend that's always with you. And so this little piece of leather has been with me in some extremely emotional times with people I dearly, dearly, dearly love. And I kind of have this feeling of like it was in their presence. And so it's been blessed by them in a way, if that makes sense. Yeah, it holds very, very fond memories for me. And so that's why it's up there in the top 3. It doesn't look as pretty as an Apple Pig or a Speckled Fawns. It's certainly not as expensive as those. Again, I think I might have paid $19 for this when they were originally available. It's not exquisite. I wouldn't use that word for it. It's utilitarian, but it has served me very well. So you have this to protect your edge. You have a nice band. You open it up. You've got good stitching. You've got the 3 card pockets like this. You've got a folio pocket, a secretarial pocket, 4 bands neatly spaced, and a sturdy pen loop. I can't tell you how great that is. So you put your pens here and here, and you put your inserts in, and it folds like this. And because it's sturdy, they don't go flying around. It's not floppy. They stay where you put them. Close it like this. And this is a little loose because usually I have, multiple inserts in here. And it fills out like this. And it goes everywhere with me when I use it as the everyday carry. So right now it is tucked away in a dust cloth. I don't even use this one for archiving, in kind of my special area of stuff that, like, if God forbid I had to run from my house in a hurry, I would take this with me. That's how emotionally tied I am to it, if that makes sense. So I don't know that it's been retired. I might bring it back someday. Someday when I want a darker leather or something a little bit lighter weight than these, I might go back to it. But for right now, it's earned its spot in kind of the place of honor of something that has given me great joy over the years. And currently I am using the Speckled Fawns. All right, let me stack these back up over here so I have an area to chat and say thank you for being here. Please, in the comment section, tell us, what traveler's notebook are you using right now? What is bringing you joy in the traveler's notebook world? Is there something you've had your eye on that you have as a wish list item? Put that in the comments section as well. Let's make it a discussion. If you've enjoyed this, please click like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff so that the algorithm brings you back to me. And have a fantastic day. Enjoy your journaling. Bye-bye.